Alright guys, let's get started. You're watching Crypto Corner with myself, OJ, crypto analyst and investor since 2016. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner. Today we're going to do a technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm going to look at XRP. I'm going to look at a few other altcoins as well because the market has really starting now to get very bullish. Today we have a minor pullback in Bitcoin. It's dragging the whole market down a little bit as well. We have Bitcoin and Ethereum pretty much the same performance, less than 1% down since yesterday. So we're still in this consolidation period, which I feel is now almost over. Very soon we're going to make a move, and I'm going to go into the charts to see exactly what can we expect from the next move. XRP is actually doing well today. It is 1.60% up in the last 24 hours. Then we have BNB 1.29% down as we speak. And Cardano is 2.5% down as well. Solana is making a much bigger pullback because it actually pumped quite heavily over the last couple of days. You can see on the 7-day chart, it is 13% up. And in the last 24 hours, 7.5% down, presenting a decent opportunity for accumulation if you want Solana to be in your portfolio. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is purely me analyzing the charts and giving you my opinion. And of course, I'm going to share with you the coins that I'm personally accumulating. Chainlink is one of them. I'm going to look at the chart of Chainlink as well. MATIc is another one. MATIc is also 2.5% down today, which is good for us because at this point, these kind of pullbacks are actually buying opportunities. We are no longer in the downtrend. We are no longer in the bear cycle. Therefore, pullbacks and drops and corrections are good for accumulating. Now, let's go into the charts and see what's happening, starting, of course, with Bitcoin. All right, so let's first start with the daily. This, as you can see here, we have this trend line. This is currently our support, and we broke it briefly, but we bounced up from there. We actually have the 34 EMA and the 50th EMA here acting as support. The 34 EMA was tested, and so far it is holding us, but I'm expecting that if we make another drop, most likely we're going to come and retest it again. And we can enter even this zone here between the two moving averages, which will be ideal support. It will be also ideal accumulation. So we're talking 29,200 to 29,600, 700, around this range. If we see a drop in here, I'm going to get really greedy. I mean, I've already started accumulating, but I'm keeping some cash in case we actually drop to around 29,200 or in this range. And this is where I'm going to accumulate, pretty much go all in, because from here, I'm actually quite bullish. We do have stochastic RSI going in the oversold region, and about to print this bullish cross here, indicating that a move on the upside is to follow. And this is going to be the next bull run, because from here, this consolidation, this I feel is already exhausted. We are actually preparing and we are almost ready to start another strong rally on the upside. So where is this rally going to take us? Well, I've already been talking about 38 and 40,000. So this is pretty much the direction, but let's take a look on the upside. What exactly, where can we find some resistance? What can we expect? So currently, of course, this could change because we could actually drop a bit lower. So we could move this a little bit down, but for the time being, I'm using this low here that we printed yesterday. And of course, the latest high that we printed on the 13th of July. So from here, we actually have, first, of course, is the previous high that we have to take out. This is 31,800. This is one of the resistances that we are struggling with so far, but I'm expecting that this is going to be broken very soon. Then we have the 32,000 finally, something that we've been talking about for a long time. 32,000 to me is not going to be a big challenge. I feel that once we get there, we're going to break easily. In fact, the 32,600, this here level, is the one that I feel we might find a little more rejection than the first level. And once we break above this, we have the 33,100. This is another Fibonacci level. And we then have another golden pocket sitting here at 34,400. So on the way up, these are the resistances. These are the levels that we are most likely going to find some selling pressure. And of course, once we manage to conquer these levels, from that point, it will be a very easy ride to the 36 and the 38,000 and ultimately 40,000 before we see a bigger pullback, a consolidation and everything. But until then, this is the move. So I'm remaining bullish on Bitcoin for the time being, especially here on the bigger time frames. Let's go on the 3-day chart and see what that is looking like. The 3-day is actually suggesting that we do have some more room to go down. The moving averages here on the stochastic RSI are still pointing down, even though they started getting really tight, and we could actually see a turn here on the blue line and starting to go on the upside. But for the time being, the direction is still down, suggesting that we could actually have another couple of days perhaps here of around this level, maybe even another 3 or 4 days where we actually drop and enter my ideal buy zone, and then after that we take off on the upside. Let's go on the shorter time frame so that we can see things a little more clear here. What I like about this chart here is that we do have an obvious drop in price and at the same time drop in volume. So this is a bullish indicator. Also, another thing that I need to mention is that our stochastic RSI here on the 4-hour chart is actually starting to go downwards. Yet another indicator that we can expect to drop a little lower in price. And this is good because most likely again indicates that we're going to enter in this ideal buy zone here. We might actually not go into the buy zone. We might just touch this support line here very briefly and then bounce from there. So we have to be aware of that. Don't just count that we're necessarily coming to the lower 29,000s. We could just be here in the higher 29,000s, 29,800, 29,700, and then bounce from there. So make sure that if you are accumulating, you place you ladder your orders, you place orders at different price levels. Don't just try to catch the lowest, because if we don't go to the lowest one, then you might miss out this move. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. And with Ethereum, again, we are preparing for a breakout. I'm not sure whether we are ready for this breakout just yet, because according to stochastic RSI and simple RSI, we should go a little lower before we make that breakout. So we can expect a slight rejection here from this level and maybe dropping into the middle of this wedge pattern that we are forming, but I don't really expect us to go to the lower side of the wedge. If anything, I'm expecting that we can see another drop to around 1800 and then, or 1820, something like that. And then from there, I'm expecting that we are going to start the rally and we are going to break out of this wedge pattern. Finally, once we break out of this wedge pattern, we could actually pull back a little bit, retest it as a support, and then really take off and go towards the 2000 level, which of course we are targeting for some time now. And every time we get close to that level or we touch it, we get a rejection. It is about time that we break above this level, and I feel the time is coming very soon. So bullish on Ethereum as well. Now let's take a look at XRP, because as XRP woke up finally with the good news from the SEC court case, this is why we saw this big pump in XRP. I wasn't able to do technical analysis last week because I was without my luggage, without my charger for my computer. Of course, I had my computer with me, but the charger, for some reason, stupidly, I left in my luggage, and my suitcase only turned up on the last day of my holiday. Anyways, I wasn't able to charge it, but I was posting on social media and I was quite active on my Twitter and everything. So you know that I was quite rejoicing with this move, and I managed to actually catch this pump. I exited as we actually hit resistance and we started dropping. I exited my positions, but I did enter at around 56 cents, 54, 56 cents. This is when I was actually entering, and I exited at around 76, 78 cents. So this was a nice pump here that I managed to do some scalping. Now I am looking to accumulating again, because from what I'm seeing, we are actually ready to break again. And we actually already started this breakout today. We are actually breaking above this resistance line, which is good indication. We're doing it in small steps. Of course, this is no major breakout. I'm not really expecting that XRP is going to make another strong bull run from here, because this was really the hype. This move, whoever managed to catch that, this was a very good pump. But of course, after the pump, we did have a pullback. We did have a decent correction. As you can see on the 4-hour chart, stochastic RSI is in the oversold region. So that is suggesting that we can expect further upwards price action from here. Let's take a look at the bigger time frames so that we know what's happening in the longer term. The daily is showing that the consolidation could continue. We are not quite ready for a proper breakout here. So perhaps sideways move for another few days before we gain strength to actually break and make a bull rally. But this will coincide with Bitcoin. Of course, right now, as Bitcoin is consolidating, it opens the door for some of the altcoins to be pumping. That's why I'm going to go now into some of the altcoins. Well, first of all, let's take a look at Solana, because Solana is also doing well lately. In fact, over the last couple of weeks, Solana printed 100% jump. I mean, right now, as we speak, we are sitting at around 75%, but at its peak, it went to almost 120% up. This is a healthy pullback that we are doing right now. So if you are bullish on Solana, or if Solana is one of those tokens that you want to have in your portfolio, this is presenting you now a decent chance to accumulate. We could actually go lower. I'm expecting Solana to go lower. This is the daily chart, and you can see that stochastic and simple RSI, both of them are in the overbought region, suggesting that a further pullback is to be expected. If we are to see that, let's just quickly see how far down we can go. The golden pocket ratio is sitting very close to this 50th moving average, which is at $20. So at the most, I'm expecting a pullback to around $20, but don't count on it, because I feel that many people are becoming quite bullish right now, so they might not let it actually go to the $20 price. It could just be around this range here between the 0.50 and the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio. So if that is to happen, this is our accumulation range. If you are accumulating Solana, perhaps it's a good idea to wait until we enter this range, or at least come close to this range, because we might not break the 0.50 Fibonacci level. We might actually find the support here and bounce from here on, and in that case, you might miss out if you have placed your orders below this price. So make sure that you have some orders sitting at around the 0.50 Fibonacci ratio, and then some orders below that in case we break and we aim at the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio. These are the two levels that are always getting retested during pullbacks. The golden Fibonacci, the 0.618, is the ideal, but of course, this doesn't always get tested. Sometimes the 0.50 is where we find the support, we bounce from there. This is why I'm saying that you can't rely on the fact that we will go to the 0.618. We might not. But the 0.50 is almost a guarantee. A lot of the times, this is what we're doing. Let's actually take an example at this level here. Let's see what did that look like, because I feel that this is a good example of that kind of a price action. And yes, as you see, we actually came to the 0.50 Fibonacci level. We broke it very briefly, but we did not touch the 0.618. We actually stopped in the middle here. So this is a perfect example of when we are bullish, how this pullback is going to play out. We come to the 0.50 for sure, but we find support there, very briefly breaking it, but the bulls don't even let it go to the 0.618. They start accumulating and they don't let the price drop all the way there. This is why I'm saying that this level between the two Fibonacci levels, between the 0.50 and the 0.618, this is accumulation zone here, perfect accumulation zone. If you manage to catch that, you will be quite lucky, and it will be good for you, because you're going to basically get it as low as you can during this move, because we are now in an uptrend. The downtrend is already gone. It is behind us. From this point on, we are bullish on pretty much everything. So if you're still expecting Bitcoin to drop to 15,000 or 11,000, whatever people are talking about, I don't know what universe they're working within, but this is not the right universe, because let's go at Bitcoin again very quickly. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing from the beginning of this year. From January, this is the higher time frame, so it's the weekly. From January, we are on a steady uptrend. We are making pullbacks and corrections, but we are actually printing higher lows and higher highs, a perfect example of a bull trend. So I don't really see any reason for this trend to be reversing at this point. If anything, at some point we can make a bigger correction, maybe a 30 or 40% correction, but this by no means is looking to me like it's just a bounce from a downtrend, and we are going to reverse now and continue a downtrend. At this point, we are actually on a solid uptrend from here, and if anyone is still expecting Bitcoin to be dropping and to be revisiting previous lows, I've got bad news for you. It's not going to happen. Just look at it. Look at this chart. Let's zoom in and let's compare it to the market psychology chart, which you are probably very familiar with. We've done it many times already. I share this chart quite frequently. This is where we are. We are in the disbelief stage. This is why people are talking about Bitcoin to 12,000, to 15,000, to 16,000 yet again. Some people are talking about 8,000 even. Guys, this is not happening. This is a typical disbelief stage. This is where we are. Look at it. We are already going upwards. This is exactly where we are on this sheet. After a complete bear cycle here, where the prices dropped by 77%, I think this time it was not 80, but close to 80%. Usually this is what Bitcoin is doing during a bear market. It drops to around 80% and then it starts recovering. We are in the recovery stage, which here is called disbelief, because it's a rally, but people just can't believe it. They think it's just a relief rally and that the prices will continue to drop after that. And I'm telling you right now, I already told you in November that we printed our low here, 14th of November. This was our low of the whole bear cycle. We are not printing another low. If anything, we are making minor corrections here and pullbacks. We are not going down. Mark my words. This is the first stage of the next bull run. People are only going to catch up with it when we start going into the 60,000s and 70,000s. This is when most people are going to start FOMOing and getting greedy, even though right now is the time to be greedy. When we are at 30,000, this is the perfect buying opportunity, because from here we're going to 40K, 50K, 60K, and then after that we will be printing new all-time highs. And this is when everyone is going to be talking about Bitcoin to 200,000, Bitcoin to 1 million. All of these big predictions are going to start popping up again, but for the time being, people are scared and they're in disbelief. So I'm telling you right now, this is the direction for Bitcoin, and this is the direction for the other coins as well. So back to Solana, what I'm expecting is that it will make this healthy pullback coming to this range here, and from there is going to continue going upwards. Let's take a look at which coin shall I pick here. Link, let's do Chainlink, because it actually had some bullish news yesterday actually. As you can see, this is the 30-minute chart. It actually had quite a significant pump yesterday. Now it's doing a pullback. If you didn't grab any Chainlink before, this is your chance. This 50th moving average is most likely our support, and I'm not sure whether it's going to break any lower than that, but let's take a look at the bigger time frame, because this is more important. Here we're actually seeing that we could actually go a little bit lower. Yes, we do have some more room to go to that, to pull down to this 9 moving average, which is usually our support. As you can see here, as we were going up, every time we pull back, we get stopped at the 9th moving average. It's acting as a decent support. Here we broke below it, but the 50th moving average came in and acted as our support. These two moving averages are our supports on the way up. Currently, we tested the 9th moving average and we managed to bounce from there. another test of the 9th moving average is also coming up. This is going to be your buy opportunity. I already accumulated loads of Link over the last few weeks. I was talking about it on my social media. Link is one of the first altcoins that is now in my portfolio, that is going to stay there in my portfolio for the whole of the bull run, and I will be unloading Link as we print new all-time highs. Until then, I'm not trading this. I'm not swing trading it. I'm not going to be doing any scalping or anything with Link. It's going to just sit in my cold wallet. It's actually in my Tangent wallet right now, and it's going to stay there until it's time for me to unload, to start selling. And I will be doing at much bigger moves. I'm not interested in the minor swings here. So I've already accumulated Link. If you haven't, this is not financial advice, but Link is one of those tokens that have very strong fundamentals, so it is definitely on top of my list for altcoins to be in my portfolio. I'm bullish on Link. As you can see, this is a very good move here. We are printing higher lows and higher highs, definitely an uptrend. And on the daily, I'm not seeing any indicators that we're going to be, doing a bigger correction. If anything, a minor pullback to the 9th moving average at 674. This is pretty much what I can expect from Link. All right, now let's take a look at MATIc. Well, MATIc is also recovering right now. As you can see, recently we printed this death cross here, the purple and the orange lines. This is the 200 and the 50th moving averages on the daily. This is a death cross. It indicated a drop. A drop followed very soon after that, as you can see. And now we are making a proper recovery here. Again, higher lows and higher highs. This is what we want to see, and it is quite obvious. Let me just clean up a little bit. So we managed to climb above the 50th moving average. This is when we get bullish, and we had a nice pullback to retest and reconfirm this 50th moving average as a support. The 9th moving average is also acting as a support. They are both right now pretty much at the same level. They printed this bullish cross here, which you cannot see because I've made it very light. Let me just make the cross slightly darker so that we can see it. Okay, this is the bullish cross that I'm talking about. This is a perfect buy opportunity here. As we climb above the 50th moving average, this is when I'm actually getting interested. Up until now, I was not interested in MATIc, even though I already have a stash of MATIc. It is in my longer term portfolio, but I did sell quite a lot as we started dropping here, as the bad news, the court case with SEC was opened and MATIc got, a lot of FUD. This is when I exited half of the position that I was holding with MATIc. Now, as we are actually doing this proper retest of the 50th moving average, and it's looking quite bullish to me, I'm going to jump back in. I will reaccumulate whatever I sold up here. This is a perfect buy opportunity for me. I'm not sure whether you want to be holding MATIc, but if you want, take action, because this is a good buy opportunity for MATIc. Let's take a look at Render, another token that I have in my portfolio. I think I have very little Render right now because I did exit, and I am expecting a drop. Actually, Render is not looking that bullish. This is the 3-day chart. The 3-day chart is showing that a upwards price action is to be expected, but typically this rising wedge pattern is in fact a bearish one. So it is indicating that we could actually drop even lower. We already see that we are breaking below this, so no surprise there. This is to be expected. This rising wedge is a very standard bearish pattern. I have it in my free ebook, The Most Common Charting Patterns. If you don't have it, you can grab it from the link below. It's for free, so just go grab that. I explained all of the most commonly used charting patterns, and this is one of them. So this chart pattern usually breaks on the downside. However, we are entering quite a bullish phase of the market right now. So if anything, I'm expecting that we are going to come here to this 200 moving average and most likely bounce up from there, because even though it is a bearish pattern, this is already the breakdown. Because the rest of the market is quite bullish, I'm not expecting for us to be dropping, significantly low. I'm expecting that it will be a minor drop to that 200 moving average, and from there I'm expecting a return into the zone of this pattern and most likely even a break above it. So this is a liquidity grab here, guys. This is what I'm expecting: a drop, a liquidity grab, and then a bounce on the upside, break above resistances, and making a proper run for the $5 and the $6 level. So I remain bullish on render. And what else shall I look at here? Let's take a look at Litecoin, because I know that many people are still expecting Litecoin to be pumping because of the halving, and I'm not really convinced. I feel that Litecoin already has exhausted its run. In fact, this is the 4-hour chart. This is not looking great. I mean, this falling wedge here, we're at the lower end of the falling wedge. Yes, you could probably accumulate a little bit, because from here we should be going upwards, but let's take a look at the higher time frames. We need a more clear picture. Yes, we are going to go upwards. So if you're accumulating Litecoin here, you will see some decent profits. Perhaps we will try to go again towards the 96 and 97 range. We do have a resistance once we reach 98 and 100. It's a very strong resistance. In fact, I don't even expect us to go any higher than that. So if anything with Litecoin, I still have some Litecoin that I didn't sell. I personally feel that Litecoin is not going to be able to break higher than this level here. Maybe a little bit higher, actually, around 100. I feel that 100 is going to be another stop for it, another big selling pressure it's going to find around this level. So if anything, you can expect no more than that, if even we manage to reach that, because at this point there are too many people that will be looking to unload, and the selling pressure will surpass the demand. This is why I'm expecting that Litecoin is not going to perform very well. The halving is coming in about a couple of weeks. Typically around this time, all the speculators are looking to exit positions. They're no longer opening new positions, and they're no longer accumulating. So only retail and the ones that are kind of new to this market are the ones that expect that they will see a strong rally in the last couple of weeks before the halving. But I personally don't expect that. I feel that it will be a minor pull on the upside. It's going to present a decent opportunity to unload at slightly higher prices than what it is right now, which is 91. Not a great price for Litecoin. If you managed to unload when we were up here at the 112 and 111, I was selling here. I was then selling at 105, 102. I was selling at all of these levels because I realized that we are failing to break above the 112. We are failing to go towards the 120. I personally felt that 120 would be a good price level for it to really unload here with a decent profit. But too many people were selling Litecoin as it got to this 112, 113. Therefore, the selling pressure surpassed the demand, and I don't really think that we're going to see any more demand for Litecoin that will push it towards the 120. So this level is no longer an option for us. Unless, when Bitcoin is at 60,000, maybe then Litecoin will be at 150 or something. But until then, Litecoin is not appealing to me. I'm exiting positions as we speak. I mean, not right now. I'm waiting for a minor pump on the upside, perhaps around 95, 96. If we get there, I will definitely be selling the last of my Litecoin that I was holding for this halving.
And here is a reminder to always keep your crypto in cold storage, guys. Don't leave it on exchanges. One of the cold wallets that I use is OneKey Classic, the most inconspicuous device that I have. Paperlight and compact, and it's under $100, yet it supports thousands of cryptocurrencies and has Bluetooth connectivity, making it really easy to use. I recently posted a detailed review of the OneKey Classic, which you will find in the description below, so go check it out.
All right, well, this is everything for today's episode. I hope this technical analysis is helping you guys. Sorry for not posting last week. Actually, it's been 10 days since I've been doing technical analysis because I was on holiday in Tunisia, and I had my laptop, as I said, but I didn't have my charger. For 9 of the 10 days of my holiday, I was without my suitcase because it got lost, and they couldn't find it until literally a day before my flight back. Well, everything is well when it ends well, and this ended well. I managed to get my suitcase, all of the things that I needed, and now that I'm back in Cyprus, I can resume my regular posting. So expect my videos again 3 times a week. If we get any major shakeups in the market, I might be doing even more frequent videos. So always make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm posting a new video. Check out the links in the description below, where I drop the links to all of the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And while you're here, just pick another one of my videos, and I'm gonna see you there.